wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? This country would grind to a halt and no a thing would grow if it wasn't for the workers in their wellies. Wellies, they're wonderful, oh wellies, they're swell. If it wasn't for your wellies.
You're very welcome back to our channel. Things really drive on with the shed. We're looking like we're nearly there. Joe dries off some cows and now work is starting on the calf shed and we get exciting news about the Deutz.
Morning everyone. Saturday morning, the 1st of November. It's about 5 to 7. Welcome back to O'Neill Dairy Farm. Cows coming in. It's just coming daylight now. Getting these ladies, the half that were out, getting them in for milking. Going to set up the wire and think we have, well, if the weather was with us, we could push 2 more grazings here in the Thorny field beside the milking parlour. But you might be able to hear in the background there the bit of squelching underfoot. It's not the driest field on the farm. There's a decent cover back on it. That's why we're grazing it now before it gets much wetter than it is. I was up early this morning, ready to come out, but the mental toll of the last couple of days, the rain we've had has been absolutely insane. It's just been insane. Yeah, it's been a while since we've experienced something like that. Can't remember off the top of my head. The rain yesterday morning was just absolutely biblical. It was insane. So, sat on the couch drinking my coffee, scrolling. Anyway, we're up now and we're out. Going to get these ladies milked. Going to get a paddock or another break of grass to help for the girls that are in the sheds. We're going to push on. So the first Saturday in November, what's happening today? Sive is going for under 14 county trials over the far side of Wicklow. Ellen's bringing her over, so that's at 1:15 in Arklow. And then myself and the other three. My Aunt Gemma's 70th birthday party. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a bit of fun. Catch up with the family. I've a pen and paper in pocket now for when I'm milking later on, or in a little while there. I'll be going through the cows. Obviously we milk recorded last week, so we have a fair idea what they're yielding. The plan is to dry off 13 first calvers, low yielders, cows that are in any sort of bother at all. For example, like this lady here, she's a cull cow. She went lame there yesterday morning. She's milking reasonably well, but just we'll dry her off and give her a chance. When we pull the meal and the beat from them, their yield is going to drop like a stone. So we'll get her dried off and 12 others. That would mean that there's 120 milking then, just the 6 rows. Makes life a little bit easier. Because the shed is quite close to being finished now, I'm going to try and stretch the last round grass for as long as we can. Go half in, half out. I think for next week, although the weather isn't hectic. The main reason being some of our first calvers are milking really, really well. And the only reason that you will be drying them off right now is purely because of our facilities and not having enough space to have everything in at night or everything in full time and be milking them. Yeah, like we have first calvers that are giving 13 or 14 litres still, so it's just be insanity drying them off. So we're going to pull the 13, like I have 13. I went through a mental list there this morning when I was sitting on the couch, and I'll just double check that. I haven't missed anyone this morning now when we're milking. Probably draft them out this evening, put them on a bare paddock somewhere, not milk them tomorrow morning when we're milking the rest of the cows in our want today, and get them in then tomorrow evening, just milk them and dry them off on their own. They are going to go to a sacrifice paddock then up in Paddy's. We're going to roll out or put out a couple of bales of hay. We'll close them into a paddock field that has to be reseeded next year. And one way of forcing myself to do it is if we sacrifice it and let them plough it up a little bit. So as Cordon and more cows dry off, they'll go up there for a week or whatever, obviously until our shed is complete and we can get everything back inside. And we'll just keep feeding them bales of hay and they'll dry up and drive it on, be hunky-dory. Saturday evening, like 4 o'clock or something, just up here, giving honey and the in-calf heifers fresh break of grass. As you can see, they have that well grazed down to the scut now. We have a 30 patch med there where we gave them the bale the other day. Happy to get a fresh break, keep them going. Our field gets very narrow down at the end there now, narrows in and opens out onto a little bit of a wider patch, so they've grazed the biggest part of it, but they're happy. It's been a nice sunny dryish sort of day here in West Wicklow. Lots of weeds and stuff, we'll get them sprayed next year. Heifer's happy, time to milk some cows. Morning everyone, Sunday morning, about 7:15, just up here at the back of the houses, getting half of the cows that were out last night. They went through a wire on the way out. I didn't realise until this morning. Went to the Thorny field at the back of the parlour and there was only a handful of cows. These yahoos have spent the night up here now. They're going off skipping down the lane, delighted with themselves, full bellies. Have to get them on over on Joe. Yeah, come out the headlights, close out the wire, shined it into the paddock. Oh, there's cows there, grand. Ah well, this is where we've been spreading our soiled water. Don't seem too bothered about it. Our quad is still down with David Nolan quads in Kilkenny, getting serviced and tidied up. I had to take off the heavier coat while I was walking around this 14-acre field trying to get them in. Bit of grass frost this morning. The window in the front of the van was frozen when I came out. Temperatures after cooling off. Yeah, the back of the house is there where we're spreading a bit of soil water. It's the first fields that we closed up. There's great cover of grass after coming back on it. Just with the way our shed is going now, there's a fair chance we're going to be grazing it by the middle of next week or towards the end of next week, just to keep the cows out instead of having to dry off more of the first calvers and stuff. But look, we'll see how we go. Getting the milk now on the 19 training later on. You can see them few cows down there in the distance. That's where all these ladies were meant to be. So in there, in the last break of grass in Thorny Field, the back of the parlour, that's where all these yahoos were meant to be. There's their comrades, good girls. Good afternoon everybody. Sunday afternoon, the 2nd of November. I'm here in the New Holland. I'm going to block a drain. So we have a drain here up over the yard that only runs whenever there's biblical rain and the water table rises. It was drained away down to the lower yard down there, and obviously when we were digging out the site, that drain got taken out of the way and it started flowing as we showed in last week's video. So I'm up here at the source of it, under the bridge there, into a 4-inch pipe runs down along by the paddock where the cows have been dried off, where they're standing, and then out. And as you saw in our last video, out at the butt of the bank and filling our new tank. So I'm blocking it for the time being. I have buckets of topsoil, so I'm going to just fill it here. This is an extremely temporary job until we can get this drain, or the tail end of the shore, the drainage pipe below, connected into another new drain and away to where it's meant to be, and not flooding the tank or filling the tank. So we're going to block it off with topsoil here. It'll come out onto the lane. We'll have to put a ramp down at the far end to stop it going down into the yard as well, and it'll divert it out across the field. That's my plan for now. Half considered borrowing one of Clive's diggers below. Got into it, turned it on, drove it a few steps. Right, go back, we'll hop into New Holland. Should be well able for it. So clay, topsoily, bit of subsoil from the dig that's on the bank down there, just where the dry cows are. Getting scoops of that now. Should be relatively easy to block it off. I'll know whether I've done a good job or not, because I'll show you at the far end when I finish. Hopefully the water will have stopped flowing out through our 4-inch drainage pipe. Okay, let's go see. Have we had any success? And that is a no. We're making a dam across here, so when more rain comes down the lane, when the shore, as a result of the shore being blocked off, it won't come down straight down here and onto the site. It's going to be diverted out that way. We'll continue this around here now and out to the field there where the milkers are standing. Okay, it is slowing down significantly, but it's still flowing. I think I need to pack down my topsoil. I'll have to put on it a little bit more. Okay, I have numerous buckets of topsoil in now and subsoil to try and level it off. The water will come out this way and go down the lane. But I just realised, thinking that I was possibly done, I was going out to check the shore again. I'm after packing that down there. I dropped the New Holland in on top of it. Out here and there is still higher than in there at the top of the topsoil, so the water is just going to go up, flow over the top of it. So I need to get another 3 or 4 buckets and rise that up more. Oh lads, I'm a bit perplexed now. I thought I would have stopped it there, blocking up the shore up the top end. There's possibly a spring maybe further up there between here and where I was blocking off. I have no memory of that, so I'll have to ask my dad to see if there's anything there. If that's the case, then we could be in serious trouble. Anyway, it's getting late now Sunday evening. I'm going to finish making my ramp, whatever you call it, blocky lad up there. Another 3 or 4 buckets. We'll call it a day, I think. There's rain to come through tonight, not a whole lot, but then into tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, there's good scalp of rain forecast, so we'll see. We'll come back to this tomorrow, and if it hasn't stopped flowing by tomorrow morning, then I know I have a spring up there somewhere. We'll have to get Clive's digger or someone's digger up there and do a bit of rooting around and see what we can do. Water, when it starts to flow, you're in trouble. Still a tiny trickle coming through it. Well, it's more than a trickle, isn't it? Monday morning, 5:20. Cows coming in. The headlight is attracting a lot of insects this morning, which means that it's staying a bit milder. Just here in the paddock in front of my mum's house, so them evergreen trees do house a huge amount of bugs. More rain overnight, so as you can see, ground conditions are going very soft. Those are content enough though, I think. So drafted out the 13 cows that are been dried off yesterday morning. I'm going to milk these ladies and milk the ones in the shed and swap them over. Obviously we had 13 times a week milking yesterday. Come on cow, go girly up. Come on 34. Come on. And after breakfast then we'll dry off them 13 ladies. It's just going to take the 6 cows in the yard now, have mauled them in, ladies up from the shed. The other ladies that were out for the night, all in the yard getting ready to rock. Status on farm. Total fat is currently 587, protein is 4, 5, 6 or 7. Going really well. Our cell count is still high, but hoping with some of the cows that were drying off this morning now. A couple of them are cull cows that are high cell counters. There's 2 first calvers that are high cell counters. Going on the last test, not the one we done this week, the previous test 2 months ago now. So they're getting a longer dryer period to hopefully get help their udders recover. We should have results of our milk recording before the end of the week. Treat and dry off more cows, depending on that, particularly if there's some millionaires. Get a handle on it. We are persistent with half in, half out. We are running out of grass rapidly. There's probably only a couple of days left realistically, but because the shed is so close to being complete, like this week should do a huge amount on it. We're going to try and keep them out, float them around on some lighter covers. I know we're going to pay for it next spring when we won't have as much grass as we would like, but yeah, first calvers are milking quite well. The herd as a whole is milking reasonably well for the time of the year, so I don't want to be losing out on milk by drying off first calvers earlier than we should, because that's what we'd have to do if we got all the cows in now. We'd be squeezing them into the 2 sheds and we'd have to dry off another 20 cows. So that's the decision I've made. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. Yeah, the amount of rain in the last 3-4 days has really it's wearing on the soul now. Yeah, the building site is swamped. Don't mind the fields so much because they can handle it and will dry out in a few days if there's any sort of break in the weather at all, although I don't think there's one of them coming. But it's just that shore of water flowing everywhere. It's just making things a bit more difficult now than we thought. But look, we're extremely close. Cubicles, locking barrier or feeding barriers should be on site in the next day or 2. Clive and the lads will be back this morning. There's more filling coming in so they can finish more stuff on the outside of the shed. We'll have to get some of the water out of that tank. We're going to keep driving on. So get these cows milked now. Oh, on our TB and the things, we have our next test, our second TB test to hopefully go clear. It's booked in for the 25th of November. So get that out of the way, get clear, get shot of cool cows. Yeah, take pressure off the thing, set us up nicely. At the end of the year, drive it on. So I'm having a quick look at my damming project yesterday, and it's working with what's coming down off the fields. Yeah, so it's coming out onto the lane, it's going down, and it's sort of pooling here a little bit where we blocked off, and then it's scooting across. I have a small bit more to go here today to divert it. It's going into the paddock down there, but I'll barrier across here this morning now and get head out into the paddock. had a couple of. So our shower is still flowing. Ronan Kelly Farm Services are here. Whoop whoop. We have our mats, water trucks. They have their own little loader for unloading and running in stuff. Ah, happy days.
That's Apple Star size cow. She bought her first communion money off Joe. And she was a calf. I think she's the only cow we have with a white head, which was super cute when she's a calf. As they get older, especially now because she's wet, she's like a bit dirty. Bye, Apple Star. Just dropped Joe breakfast from the local tiny shop. I was parked up the yard here ready to dry off cows with me, but he said I need to move, that there's too many lorries. And work men coming, that there's not enough room for me to park, so out I go. This is what we mean by when we say the digger man is coming in a few weeks to clear off areas and put crushed concrete down and stuff, because we've nowhere to park or designate a place to put trailers or equipment. It's all shoved in corners. Anyway, today all corners are used.
So we have our first 13 cows for drying off, are in the parlour, been milked. This lady, unfortunately, she's not a fan of lying up in the cubicles, and 2 days ago something stood in the end of her teat and has severed the end of her teeth. The sphincter is gone, so that's milk leaking straight from her milk canal now. The quarter is as good as gone. It's going to leak milk there. So she's going to dry her off. She's in a bit of pain. She doesn't like being handled the best of times. So we're going to dry her off and let that quarter dry itself off in the next couple of weeks, and she'll be ready for housing then. So Ellen is on hand. She'll be here in a minute. I'm going to get him dried off.
It's Ellen here, the brown wife. We're just getting ready to dry off cows. Ronan Kelly Farm Services are here, starting on the cubicle. Very exciting. These are the cubicle mats. This is the feeding pad for this side of the shed and the tractor run. We were thinking about putting slatted walkway here for the cows to walk. We'd obviously have to put a channel and a bit of a tank in as well, but we've decided against that. We're going to get concrete right up to the wall and just get the cows to walk into the shed, because it's just somewhere else to collect rain, isn't it? Because it's not covered. Eventually we'll probably join the sheds there, but that'll probably be when the milk parlour is paid off, or there's a serious increase in milk price or something. They're jigsaw mats. They just clip them in and they hammer them down, nail them down or whatever. Do you nail them in, is it? Or whatever that screw thing is they're doing.
Plug, yeah.
Was it? A plug?
Plug, yeah.
Okay, very good. So if we ever need to change one of them, is it a massive deal? Not that we never would you?
Mats?
Yeah.
No, it's not a big deal.
Because Joe installed our original mats down himself in the shed, and we were trying to lift some of them up, but holy f***. Like, I don't know what he put them down with.
We can be changing them to us. There's a 10-year warranty on them as well. So
Okay.
we haven't never replaced one now, to be fair. But yeah, no, there wouldn't be a massive job. The interlocking, so everything just sit back in anyway.
Yeah, because we were thinking about changing the other ones, and we tried to take some up, and I was like, now some of them are falling apart by themselves, I don't know, and then there's others, it's like they're cemented in. Which is mad.
Yeah, your job is to give them the initial wipe with this other clean stuff you had.
Yeah, like
So you work your way down along, and then I'll disinfect them with the wipes to come with the feet
What do you
chiller and
mean?
stuff.
What are they?
It's more a cleaner. It's not. There's no.
I got them for a wipe and if the cows are dirty.
They're not alcohol based, so they don't sterilise it.
So why don't I just use that?
Because this will do the initial clean and take off the heavy stuff or whatever if there's heavy stuff on it, and then
I need to go online and buy the disinfectant bucket or for when we're drying off all the cows. Will be here 100 years.
Yeah, no,
using that. Why didn't you tell me that?
So normally we have these opened up.
No, we don't. That's what we did years ago, and then we went about the bucket to save time.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't done this opening up stuff.
Yeah, I know, but we're just being extra careful this year, you know.
No. We bought a bucket of the disinfectant, wasn't it? Remember the bucket stuff?
I thought it was the same as that one there. Maybe I'm totally wrong.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you're recording me with look at a face on you that you don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on either.
I'm saying, do you know? I'll Google in a minute. The ones that we used to use, I thought were disinfectant.
So we're here this morning, drying off the first 13 cows.
Who are they?
First calvers, a couple of cull cows, 2 high cell count ladies.
You took that off the milk recording that we did last week?
Yeah.
So the first calvers is because the litres are down, the high cell count ladies because they're high cell count?
Yeah.
And the dry cows because...
The cull cows, because they're going, and 2 of them are high cell count, so we'll get them out.
How many of the cull cows is there?
That we're drying off now?
Yeah.
Just 3 of them.
And 2 are high cell count.
Yeah.
Why did you dry off that one that's not high cell count?
She's laying there the last couple of days, so we'll just put
Give
her
her a
off,
break.
give her a break.
What's the plan with them cull cows this year?
They're going to be sold as soon as we pass the TB test.
And if we don't pass the TB test?
Sure, we'll have to try and fatten them and sell them in the new year. I don't know.
Sell them?
Straight to the factory.
Okay. If we fail the next TB test, do we have to get another 2 clear then?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're back to start like.
Why would you bring that up this morning? You're getting ready to dry up cows. Totally depressing me.
Because I like to look at all scenarios so that if something happens we have a plan in place. That's not a complete, like, you're not banking on one thing. Okay, so you finished milking earlier on this morning and these have been waiting in the yard?
Yeah, well, I just milked them now. They were separated out yesterday, so I just milked them there now. Yeah, so they're getting an antibiotic tube, Kepravin, it's a bit dirty there now with my gloves, and then a teat sealer, Sure Seal. The rules and regulations in Ireland now with blanket treating antibiotics to dry off have changed, so you have to do selective dry cow therapy. So in conjunction with our antibiotic, and our vet, Highfield Vets, they've gone through our milk recordings for the year and they will be pulling out cows that are suitable for selective dry cow therapy.
What does dry cow therapy mean?
Selective dry cow therapy is that they don't get an antibiotic, they just get a teat sealer. So, but her average cell count for the year has to be below 100,000.
Okay.
So the criteria is quite strict. You know, we have done it a little bit in the past, it's worked okay. We need to do it more now because we're trying to reduce antibiotic resistance development in the national herd, I suppose. So as in last week's video, our milk samples are away just to make sure that this Kepravin is hitting any problems that we have with our cows. Sorry.
So those milk samples that you sent away, separate to our milk recording, were from who?
They're gone to Highfield Vets.
No, who were they from? What cows are they?
Oh, sorry. Ladies that have had mastitis issues in the last 3 months or since our last milk recording. One of them was a persistent high cell counter. She just floats up and down. And then 2 other ladies that have been fine. So I just said we'd throw them out and see what the story was with them.
But they all showed up on the last milk recording last week?
Yeah. So the whole idea is that they will come back that this Kepravin is suitable and will treat any issues that we have. It might not be, that we might have resistance to it, it might not be hitting the bacteria that we're struggling with, and we'll have to use the different products just to know where we are.
But these are already getting dried off before you have the results of that?
Yeah, but we've had good success with Kepravin in the last couple of years, so...
Yeah. But none of these ladies are the ones that you sampled anyway?
No.
So it actually doesn't matter?
So they don't have any major issues. The 2 high cell count ladies that are in it are cull cows, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
They are getting an antibiotic tube, even though their cull cows are going to be sold, but it's only a 21-day withdrawal for meat and offal. So if they were going to be slaughtered after we sell them, when
but
we
they're not actually cull cows
test.
because you're planning to sell them at the mart.
Yeah.
Cull cow means straight to factory, doesn't it?
Well, culling from us, so...
Oh, someone else, you presume, because, they'll...
Oh yeah, they'll be sold as fattening cows.
They'll feed them on
They won't be sold as milking cows,
Okay.
So that's the plan. So Ellen's going to wipe them with this. I'll come along behind then and antibiotic wipe them, dry cow tube, teat sealer, work our way down along the line.
We use another bucket usually, which I think are disinfectants because we don't usually double wipe them. Because I know someone's going to go, you can get a bucket of disinfectant wipe, you don't need to double wipe it. We never usually. Right, last year I think I was afraid they were all kicking me.
Well, they're going
Do you
to kick,
remember?
so yeah.
I'll put my big grey pants on, right?
First calvers, not that warty.
What's warty to me? Isn't that crazy that they get warts? Why do cows get warts?
Yes, I just call them little pimples more than warts. Warts are big yolks. You'll see there's one further on down the house. A lot worse.
She's hardly dirty at all.
Yeah.
Right, we don't have a bin.
The bin there on the ground.
I feel like you're really unprepared this morning. I didn't know we were doing this.
Ground.
We had to have a quick pause. Joe had to go out and accept the delivery of crushed concrete in the yard. Yeah, the cows got a bit kicky, so I decided to go online to Country Farm Supplies and order the wipes for the next set of dry-off cows and gloves, etc. And I worked out how much extra money we would have made last March if we had met the solids that we aim to meet for next year. And the answer was €4,000. And for talk's sake, if next March's milk price is 30% less than this March, it will still work out as an extra €2,800.55 that month. And all because the new shed will be finished and we can buffer feed as much as we like. How many teeth can you count, kids? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you're my generation, Chandler has a nubbin. I'm of absolutely no use. I can milk a cow, touching it with the wet wipes and they start kicking and everything. Too much of a wimp. Our neighbour got her, what did she get, her elbow? Wrist broken. If the cows were all pushed up, we had a bar to back them up and they were all flat and not so far away from the bar when there wasn't so much kickable area, I think I'd be more confident. Anyway, Joe doesn't mind silhouettely, don't you? Is that the last cow? I bought this blue barrier spray. It's not thick like our other one. Joe doesn't like it. We got a really thick one for when did he say we use it? I actually thought it's for now when we dry off the cows, but Joe said it's for the few weeks before they calf or something. That's what it said on the bottle it's for. I think I actually sprayed you already, Mrs. didn't I? Should spray you again. Right, Joe's going to turn on the machine so we can open the gates and wash down the units.
Come on, girls. Come on, cows.
You're pretty, aren't you?
Pretty empty, pretty.
And are they coming out to me?
Yeah, they're going to walk out by you, or stand out here now. You. Come on, come back in there now. See now, walking easy. Easy. This is what's getting moved up and
Joe, did you ever dream of a gate standing up straight? This is the temporary gate since 2019, but when we could buy another one.
I only dream of you, Ellen.
But temporary to me means still tied up properly. Temporary to Joe, even if it's 10-year temporary, means there's no point hanging up properly, you're going to be taking it down. Anyway, we're waiting on a price from Pearson's and from Alco on that type of a gate.
Run down the hill and you stand here, so whenever I'm ready you walk in there. Hopefully they'll come down towards me. If not, they'll run up here and look for an accident. You see, your one will come on. Black one will come on now in a minute. If I call them.
Okay.
Small cows, small girls, small.
Hop, hop, hop.
Come on. Come on,
Hop,
come on,
hop.
come on. You go in and get them, El.
Come on. Shh. Come on. I presume you're a heifer and she's a cow. Go on, follow Joe. So the concrete contractors are going to be starting on the calf shed this week. And we need them to pour concrete wall in the old calf sheds. We need to get the calf feeder removed out of there ASAP.
This way, 14, this way. What is wrong with you? Blind?
He's starting on the calf shed right now. The guy is over there doing something to the stiff. Happy days. Almost 3 rows of mats in. 1, 2, and then 2.5. Savage. They're so bouncy. Love these from the gym. Going off memory, the mats for the whole shed are 7,000 or 7,500. They're the mats. They're the drinkers ready to go in as well. The feed barrier poles are in as well. That's the solar camera up there. We're able to keep an eye on the build and show you what's going on. The river, thankfully, has abated a little bit, stopped flowing. This is the feed passage tractor driving area on the other side of the shed. I was thinking about planting this bank with ground cover. It's hazel trees and crap that's growing like it has on the other bank. And the milking parlour was done in there, and we had concrete like this down. The kids were little, so they all brought down their scooters and bikes. They're all grown up now. No one wants to come down and scooter around our concrete pad. Ronan Kelly Farm Services lads are flying. Look at the others. Mad for the beak. Give me some. Caesar. Joe reversed into this gate about 2 years ago, I'd say. Broke it in half, well, bent it in half, and now it's proceeded to break. But still hanging, still doing a job. That's the main thing. No word on the Deutz. They did say it would take 3 weeks. They say it's going to take 3 weeks, it's probably going to take 4 weeks. So we must be 2.5 weeks into that by now, I'd say, maybe. You have to shovel this shed, obviously, because it's... What?
Can't feed it in the tractor.
Yeah. Why have you not started the dial wagon? Just because...
So Stephen then bales through the wagon would have been tough work. Would have been a lot of want the wagon turning for them days to break up in it, you know, and sure we want back.
The bales aren't chopped. Oh yeah, you'd have to leave it chopping for ages. Sure, anyway, the workout does you no harm, Joe.
Complimenting my GA, you see.
Cabbies. Water for honey. On the grant, I'm applying for a solar pump so we can get water to the fields so we don't have to follow honey around with IBC anytime she's in the silage fields.
I'm currently in the New Holland here with IBC in the front of it, just tipping up the road to honey and the heifers. Just had word from Deutz Fahr machinery there that our Deutz could be ready tomorrow evening, which is fantastic. I rang, I wasn't expecting it for probably another week maybe. Just texted him and he rang straight away, and yeah, so tomorrow evening that would be absolutely fantastic. We could tip over and collect it on Wednesday. That'd be absolutely mighty. Progress, all things on farm this morning seem to be going at 100 miles an hour, which is what you want, although it has the head spinning. First 13 cows dried off. Ronan Kelly Farm Services are in. The boys are horsing down the mats. I haven't gone near them. They told Ellen that they'd be mats and cubicles and locking barriers would be in 3 days. Wow. She doubts them, but we'll see how they go. Clive's lads are currently on site, Kevin and Joe, and they are getting the steel in between the pillars, etc., setting up for pouring the walls on the calf shed. What else is going on? I think that could be it. Yeah, the cow's dried off, so I'm going getting the water to the heifers and the cat and honey now, and getting a couple of bales of hay out into the field. Like I told you in a few videos ago what the plan was, so more on that as we go. So yeah, busy Monday. Monday evening, about 4:20. Progress been made on the calf shed. Steel between the pillars. Shuttering is here for walls to get going on that tomorrow, which is fantastic. As we said this morning, Ronan Kelly Farm Services are in with a load of mats this morning, and now we have cubicles and feed barriers. Well lads, that's exciting. That's exciting. I don't look my butt lying down like this, but we have gone for the Jourdain lock and barrier. It's a bit higher spec than Joe's probably used to, but we just made the decision. In terms of use of the shed, we can clip tails, we can vaccinate cows all as a bunch. They're in close to lock and barrier, they're locked into where they are. You whip along and do them, as opposed to having to load everything into the crush. So that's a lot more expensive. I was going to say a good bit, but a lot more expensive than your normal diagonal barriers, but worth future-proofing the farm, making it a one-man job. So we've gone down this road. That is very exciting. The fact that they're on site and it's Monday. So I'm going to walk across. I'm currently standing on the slatted tank, feed slab out on the front, parallel with the parlour. Forge. Ronan Kelly Farm Services in. Cubicle mats in on that row of cubicles and that row of cubicles. One of our water trucks, the other one's going on the other cubicle end wall, same down the far end of the shed. Cubicles there, ready to be installed tomorrow. Feed slab poured on this side too. Absolute savage progress been made in the last couple of days. Joe's a very happy bunny. A very happy bunny. As always, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching our channel. We'll see you next Saturday. Will there be cows in the shed? Will there be cows in the shed?